Tina Bell, the godmother of grunge, a pioneer whose influence fueled a genre known for its raw energy and an apologetic attitude. Almost a decade before the roaring success of grunge, before Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, or even Soundgarden embraced the label, Bam Bam, a band fronted by Tina Bell, was making waves in Seattle. Today, I will tell you her story. Tina Bell met her husband, Tommy Martin, after placing an ad in a local newspaper. She needed help with French because she was songwriting. They met, they fell in love, and had a kid. In 1983, Tina Bell formed a band with her husband, Tommy Martin, and a friend, Scott Ledgerwood. The name of the band is a mix of Tina Bell's surname and Tommy Martin's surname. Later on, drummer Matt Cameron joined the band. Does that name ring a bell to you? Bam Bam drummer Matt Cameron went on and joined the bands Pearl Jam and Soundgarden during the golden years of grunge. Bam Bam, the band that Tina Bell co-founded, blazed a trail through Seattle music scene, leaving an indelible mark on history. Their sound was new and intriguing.
What's that I see?
Bam Bam was the first band in Seattle to record at Reciprocal Recording, where years later Nirvana went and laid tracks that would then become Bleach and Incesticide. Bam Bam had music videos, they appeared on television, they were twice honored by listeners of KCMU KEXP. The band performed at major Seattle festivals and headlined with big names. The Melvins even opened for them back in the days when Kurt Cobain was touring with them as a roadie. Years later in interviews, Scott Ledgerwood even remembers jokingly yelling at Kurt Cobain for dropping his guitar. He also recalls seeing Kurt Cobain sitting on the side of the stage hugging his knees, watching Bam Bam perform, completely absorbed in the music. The crowds loved them. Tina's presence on stage was something to witness. Just imagine her hair, her white hair, covering her face as she screamed in the microphone. Bam Bam's bassist, Scott Ledgerwood, remembered that Tina's voice could go so quickly from a sultry coo to a spine-chilling shriek. Tina was described as approachable, confident, unique, charismatic, and beautiful. Om Johari, a Seattle-based musician, saw Bam Bam perform back in the days.
Her performance on stage was just that much more powerful because she definitely commanded a room of predominantly white spectators.
But amidst the chaos of fame and the allure of stardom, Tina Bell's journey was fraught with obstacles. Witnesses at the early days of Bam Bam's career remember that white musicians felt threatened by Tina Bell's power, confidence, and stage presence. Tina Bell had some altercations with concertgoers. She would smash her microphone on people, calling her the N-word or spitting on her while she was performing. She faced discrimination, both as a woman and a black artist in a predominantly white industry. Yet, her resilience never wavered. In the late 80s, the band moved to London in hopes to make it in Europe because they were shunned at home. Some music experts compare Bam Bam's move as Jimi Hendrix leaving Seattle, a city known for the erasure of black musicians. Unfortunately, Tina Bell's story doesn't end with accolades and applause. In 1990, Tina Bell quit the band, left the music, and left the scene entirely. Her son, TJ, confirmed that she gave up performing.
She retracted from the world, became kind of a recluse, very much stuck to herself.
The fierce spirit that was into the Doors and Frank Sinatra and Metallica went into isolation and lived as a hermit pretty much until she passed. Her son, TJ Martin, who is now an Academy Award winner, said she completely retracted and never talked about Bam Bam. She volunteered at the church and even got some janitor jobs there. A few years before she passed, she moved to Las Vegas, where she went in total isolation. She was also struggling with alcohol and mental health issues. She eventually died of cirrhosis in 2012. Her son, TJ, said she was even disrespected in death. Her body was found a couple of weeks after she passed, and the management of her building threw away all of her belongings without warning. Scott Ledgerwood, Bam Bam's bassist, said that at that time they were working on a possible comeback. They were writing, they were thinking about a memoir or maybe a documentary that her son could direct. They were all writing together. Tina's son says that all the recordings and all the writings have been thrown away. Her memory lives on in the hearts of those who knew her, in the echoes of her music, and in the walls of the places she once called home. On July 9, Seattle musicians paid tribute to Tina Bell and Bam Bam. Central Saloon, a venue with rich grunge history where Bam Bam used to play, recently put a mural of Tina Bell on one of its walls.
This is how I remember the person she became on stage.
Om Johari says that black women like Sister Rosetta Tharpe or Tina Bell are never recognized for their contributions to the genre. People sometimes have a really difficult time accepting women who happen to be black in the genre of rock and roll that we invented, Johari says. Scott Ledgerwood says that the industry never gave Tina Bell the shot that she deserved, and as a result, she never got access to the deals or the fame that white male musicians achieved.
They were afraid that America wasn't ready for a black girl to front a hard band. You know, oh, she's supposed to be a hip hop or a diva queen. She can't be up there, you know, so fierce and beautiful like that. But she was.
America was certainly fucking not ready for a black girl up front in a hard band, let alone as a media sweetheart, no matter how gorgeous she was. As far as Bam Bam being suppressed, there's probably several reasons, but race and gender clearly played a major role. The continued reluctance by Seattle to accept her is maddening. Part of it is people are uncomfortable around the race issue. Tina Bell's husband, Tommy Martin, was appalled because the press kept comparing her to Tina Turner, as if there was only room for one black woman at that time. Tina Bell's son, TJ, doubled down and said the industry was not ready for her and didn't know what to do with her. Fetishize her or dismiss her? Tina Bell may have left the world, but her spirit remains eternally alive and now inspires musicians.
It's kind of incredible to think that a black woman leading a punk band is still an anomaly at this day and age.
And as we celebrate Black History Month, let us remember her not just as the pioneer of grunge music, but as a symbol of strength, resilience, and of the enduring power of music to transcend boundaries.
She was the only beautiful black goddess who could rock with such a pure heart that she did, and that's why she should be remembered.